I've been telling a nice story about my journey to start Next Play Mom. I've been telling a nice, tailored story. But I just got a haircut with my favorite barber, Ta, here in New Jersey, now that I'm back home in New Jersey. And we both got kids. She's got adult girls, and I have my young adult boy. And she knows him. She's cut his hair for a long time, too. And we were updating her because I haven't seen her in 16, 17 months since the last time she cut my hair when we left New Jersey. Um, and I told her the actual story. So I'm a sports mom by default. The only reason I'm a sports mom is because my son plays sports. I don't care about sports one way or another, particularly myself. But it's been fun to watch him play and watch him grow and develop and get the benefits of it and deal with the nonsense crap of it too. We've done that together. And then when it was time to start looking at college, it seemed like a straightforward avenue for him. He's big, he's athletic, he's talented. He unfortunately got injured in his junior year, which threw a trajectory off pretty big time. Because at 6'8", 300 something pounds, super strong, coming from basketball to football, he's got good feet, all the stuff, sports IQ, all the stuff. He's intelligent, he's articulate, he's a great kid, good common sense, he doesn't cause trouble, he's a great person and a great kid. And then we have been on a journey since that injury, the beginning of his junior year season, to rehab from that, to get gaslit by his coaches about playing, to get nervous about his journey, to rip up our whole lives here in New Jersey. Literally, in November 2023, we had conversations about leaving New Jersey because I felt anxious about whether or not he would have a fair chance if we switched schools, because his coaches at his school honestly were gaslighting him, in my opinion, telling him be ready to play, be ready to play, and then not playing him once he recovered from the injury. And if you know anything about sports, which you may or may not, the junior year is probably the most important year for film, and he just did not have it. He wasn't going to have it. And I was like, I want you to be able to do what you want to do. I want you to have your dream. I was kind of bored with whatever was going on in New Jersey, so I was up for moving. So between the first week of December, we went to Michigan to check it out. And the first week of January, we lived in Michigan. Pulled up my whole life for this kid to get him his dream. My son, we reclassed him between 8th and 9th grade, which was 2020 during the pandemic. I pulled him out of school. I have a PhD and I'm an educator, and I ran a tutoring center. At the time, I owned a tutoring center and ran it. So he just worked with my staff for a year, which ended up saving his ass later, luckily, actually. So I say that to say he's 18 in his junior year. He turned 18. And so he's 18 and 19 in his senior year. So he's an adult, right? And that is material because I let him, and he insisted on handling things that he ended up not being able to handle, and then that led to a year, November 24, for a crisis for him and I on his college journey. I would say that we heard so many things. Oh, you're gonna have so many offers, you're gonna get all this attention, because he's talented, you're gonna have all this stuff, but then the injury threw that whole trajectory off. And that's how that happens sometimes. So you can hear all these things from all these experts and all these people in your ear who want a piece of that action, promise that they see in your child. So he did have offers. Some good, some not so good. Not that they're bad, but not desirable for what he wanted. We happened to have a connect. He happened to meet somebody from Colorado, which is where he is now, who said they would recruit him. They were excited about recruiting him. And because I'm an energy worker too, I'm a Reiki master, like I definitely took that and energetically sealed that promise and said, okay, you say you're going to recruit my kid, you're going to recruit my kid. I don't care about these other offers. I trust this place to be the place for him to at least start his journey. And ultimately, that's what we manifested and created. But I think you, as a sports mom, and if you're not like really into it, like I was not, you can hear these things and hear these promises about what the journey is going to be. But what your journey is going to be unique to you and your kid and your sport and their talent and what people tell you and your preparation and what you know. But what I know as an educator is that the thing that's going to get in your way, like you can spend he's an offensive lineman, you can spend all this money on training and nutritionists and sports psychologists and support and whatever. And if you don't have those grades locked in, if you don't have those core courses for NCAA locked in from 8th grade starting, knowing what you're doing and having a plan in place, you will screw yourself. As one of the moms who commented on one of my posts said about her daughter who had all these offers and stuff, but that GPA came in and the mom said, want. No, you just wasted all this time. You just wasted all this money. So anyway, back to the story of this kid, my kid. So we moved to Michigan. He locked in with the school. He did a great job. I'm proud of him. And he also was fucking it up, just to be honest. He was trying to handle everything. And that's where his being 18, 19 sort of plays in. Because not everybody is going to talk to you. Like once they're 18, they don't talk. No, but not everybody talks to you anymore. You're not relevant as a mom in the mix with your kid, in my case. And then I'm also trying to raise him. Yes, he's an athlete. Yes, I want him to be a great athlete if that's what he wants. But I'm trying to raise him to be a great human and a good adult who can take care of himself and not be up under my butt for the rest of his life, to be honest. So he was handling it, and he said he's got it, and he didn't fucking got it. They don't have it. And that was my mistake for allowing that to go on longer than it was, but we found out. So, like I said, he had this injury. He needed surgery for it because he got it banged up again. And we had to tell Colorado, look, he needs to have this surgery. I didn't know if they were going to pull the scholarship or whatever. They didn't. They were cool about it. And they said, okay, do the surgery there, do the early recovery, and we'll do the rehab. But he needs to come here in January to start for spring semester, which means he needs to finish high school early. He's not on track to finish high school early. There was a graduation requirement in his public school in Michigan related to a class he was supposed to have taken in 9th grade, but he wasn't there in 9th grade, that they were not going to waive. And they wanted him to take in his second semester of his senior year. He had a failed class, moving from Algebra 2 at his school in New Jersey to Algebra 2 in Michigan didn't work. And he did not tell me that. And he thought he was going to be able to fix it, and he couldn't fucking fix it. So, I got a minute and a half. So, November 6th, I find out he's not on track to graduate in time. November 7th, he's supposed to have this knee surgery. I find out I was so filled with rage at having pulled up my whole life, and now we're stuck in this fucking situation. I almost lost my mind that day. That was probably the darkest day in our family history. I pulled myself together. I did the surgery, pulled him out of school. I homeschooled him. I graduated him from my homeschool and was able to pull homeschool credits from the year that he did in reclassing with my staff, which thank God he had those as well. And I could pull those all forward to like boost his GPA and give him the credits that he needed and the core courses that he needed. And now I'm a fucking expert. And now I, Dr. Lisa Gardenhire, am an expert on NCAA eligibility, academic eligibility, the business of sports, which is a whole nother kettle of fish that I can't talk about right now, and what you do as a mom facing empty nest now that you're not going to be a day-to-day sports mom anymore. If you want more of that from me, more of this content, more of this stuff, look at my bio, click the link, let's talk.